Hey everyone, Dan Waddington here, your local real estate professional serving Maple Ridge, Greater Vancouver, and the Fraser Valley. If you're thinking about buying, selling, or just trying to understand what's really happening in our market right now, you're in the right place. January 2026 numbers are out, and they're showing a classic buyer's market. More homes available, prices continuing to soften, and buyer activity still cautious, at least on paper. But here's the thing I'm seeing on the ground every day. Things are starting to shift. More showings, more inquiries, more serious conversations happening right now. So I'm going to walk you through the official January stats. They're pretty bleak, uh, but let's see what that actually means for you and help you make a smart, confident decision in 2026. All right, let's jump in. Okay, here we have my January 26th real estate market update. Let's dive right in. Home prices in the Fraser Valley just dropped below 900 benchmark across all property types for the first time since spring 2021. So we're back to pandemic era levels. If you're thinking about buying or selling anywhere in Greater Vancouver or the Fraser Valley right now, this could be the biggest opportunity or the biggest risk. Stick with me for 10 minutes. I'm going to walk you through the full January 2026 stats, inventory prices, sales, days on market, interest rates, and most importantly, what it means for you if you are contemplating a move. Let's look at the market overview here. So let's start with the big picture. What's actually happening right now? We've got more homes available than we've seen in a long time. Inventory up almost 10% year over year in Greater Vancouver and 6.3% in the Fraser Valley. Prices are softening. The benchmark is down 5.7% in Vancouver and between 6.5% and just over 8% across Fraser Valley property types. Homes are taking longer to sell. Detached homes averaging over 61 days on market. And buyer activity is down. Sales are down 24 to 29% year over year across both regions. This is clearly a buyer leaning market. Let's just take another look here at inventory. This is where buyers have real power right now. In Greater Vancouver, there are 12,628 active listings. That's up 9.9% from last January. That's a massive 38% above the 10-year average. So lots of inventory, lots to choose from. In the Fraser Valley, we're up 6.3% year over year and 54% over the long-term average. That means more choice, less pressure, and honestly more negotiating power for buyers than they've had in years. Let's look at the price trends here. Now, the numbers that really grab attention, obviously prices. So here's the breakdown year over year. Vancouver composite benchmark 1.1, that's down 5.7% from January 2025. Fraser Valley detached 1.37, that's down 7.4. Townhouses down 6.5, and apartments down 8.2. The Fraser Valley composite just under $900,000, as I previously mentioned. That is pandemic era levels across the board. If you bought at the peak a couple of years ago, that might sting. But if you're buying right now, this is real value showing up in the market. Let's have a look at days on market here. So how long are homes actually sitting? In Greater Vancouver, detached homes average 61 days on the market, townhouses 47, apartments 49. These are Fraser Valley specific days on market data. It isn't broken down the same way in the current reports, but the trend is the same. Homes are taking longer to sell. And that extended timeline, it's giving buyers breathing room to think, to compare, to negotiate, do your due diligence without feeling rushed. Let's have a look at the buyer demand. So the buyer demand side of the story, buyer demand definitely looks subdued in the January numbers. Sales down 28% in the Greater Vancouver, 24% Fraser Valley. Vancouver sitting 30% below the 10-year average. The January was the fourth slowest in over 2 decades. Now, I'd like to make an important note here. January sales don't actually reflect what's happening now. They mostly come from deals that were agreed upon back in October, November. In BC, the typical closing time is 30 to 90 days after an offer is accepted. around 60 days on average. So that means these low numbers for last month are a lagging indicator of slower activity during the holiday season. That's when many families pause for the holidays, travel, or just avoid moving in the winter. What I'm seeing on the ground right now in early February is an uptick in buyer activity. I'm getting more showings, more inquiries, more serious conversations. The pent up interest is starting to build as people shake off the holidays and see these softer prices and higher inventory as an opportunity. Now, speaking about rates briefly here, Bank of Canada decided to maintain 2.25 in January. No big cuts yet. Rates are stable, but they're still high enough that affordability remains a real challenge for many households. I've been talking to buyers in Maple Ridge, Abbotsford, Langley, people who want to move but were cautious over the holidays. That caution is showing up in these January closings, but the early signs of renewed interest are encouraging. So, what should you actually do in this market? If you're watching this and thinking about buying or selling in 2026, you can just drop a quick yes in the comments. I'd love to know who's here with me. For buyers, you've got more selection than we've seen in years. I would use it. I would negotiate. I would look closely at Fraser Valley for value. There are opportunities right now. And with buyer activity picking up, the window could narrow as we head into spring. And for sellers, you need to price realistically from day one. Staging, great photos, working with someone who knows the local market are more important than ever in this environment. If this breakdown is helping you make sense of what's happening, hit the like button. It really helps these updates reach more people just like you. And if you want monthly stats, local insights, Maple Ridge specific tips delivered straight to you, subscribe and turn on your notifications so you don't miss the next one. And here's the bottom line for January 2026. Inventory way up. Prices are softening. Reported sales are slow, but those numbers do lag behind the current momentum. We are firmly in a buyer's market. There's more leverage for buyers, but I am seeing early signs of buyer activity rebounding right now. Buyers have leverage, more choice, and more room to negotiate. Sellers can still win, but it takes smart pricing and strong positioning. If you are ready to talk about your situation, comment update. I'll send you a full stats package plus a quick personalized chat. No pressure, just help. If you click the link in the description to book a no obligation call, we can talk about your personal situation. All right, thanks for watching. I'm Dan Waddington, here to help you get ready, set, and sold in Greater Vancouver and the Fraser Valley. See you in the next update.